This video is sponsored by Shortboxed, the easiest and safest way to buy and sell comic books, both raw and graded. Download the app today using the link in the description. Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. The other day during my live stream, there was a conversation around who were the most popular comic book characters out there between Marvel and DC and just overall. Unfortunately, I do not have any new polling data or results to share with you, but I do actually have some sales data. I'm specifically going to run down the top 10 most popular characters that have sold comics on the Shortboxed app. So whenever a comic is sold, those numbers are tabulated and aligned to a specific character or team, and that's what we're going to run through right now. And potentially, this data is actually more telling than polling data because in this instance, people are literally voting with their dollars. In addition to running through this list, I'm going to give you a breakdown of how transactions go by publisher. There has been some shifts where one publisher's market share and percentage of transactions has shrunk, another has grown, but we're going to run that down at the end of this video. With that said, let's get to the top 10 most popular characters based upon sales on the Shortboxed app. Stay tuned. I first want to give you guys a rundown of 3 characters / teams that have dropped out of the top 10. They have been booted from the top 10, and they include Captain America, Superman, and also the Fantastic Four. Superman and Captain America each dropped 4 spots, again, pushing them out of the top 10, and the Fantastic Four dropped a total of 8 spots on the list. In the 10th spot right now, we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They have moved up 8 spots to reach the 10th spot on the list. In the 9th spot, we have Star Wars, which actually dropped 1 place on the list. Number 8 is Wolverine, who had his first full appearance in Incredible Hulk issue number 181. Dropping 2 spots on the list to the 7th spot is Venom. Venom had his first full appearance in Amazing Spider-Man issue number 300. In the 6th spot, we have Incredible Hulk, and I think that this is the first time that I've ever seen Hulk actually make a list on his own. Oftentimes, he's on the list because of Wolverine, but this time he made it on his own, and he first appeared in Incredible Hulk issue number 1 back in 1962. Number 5 is the Avengers, who first appeared as a team in Avengers issue number 1 published by Marvel in 1963. In the 4th spot, moving up 18 spots, is Spawn. Spawn had a massive surge in sales over the course of the month, which is why he moved up 18 spots. And I think that this has a lot to do with Todd McFarlane and Jason Blum saying that the Spawn movie reboot is coming in 2025. Number 3 is Batman, who first appeared in Detective Comics issue number 27 in 1939. It's worth mentioning that Batman is the only DC character to make the list. In the number 2 spot, we have the incredibly popular X-Men, who first appeared in X-Men issue number 1 in 1963 and were refreshed in Giant Size X-Men number 1 in 1975. And in the number 1 spot, yet again, is Spider-Man, who first appeared in Amazing Fantasy 15. As I indicated at the top of this video, there has been a shift in how transactions on the app are broken out by publisher. There's actually been some meaningful shifts, I do believe. When you dig into the data, what you see is that Image Comics has actually doubled its transactional volume on the Shortboxed app from 3% to 6%. This is in large part, of course, to what I indicated earlier about Spawn issue number 1. The growth that we saw with Image Comics actually came at the expense of DC Comics. DC's overall volume dropped from 22% to 19% as we went from August into September. As you would imagine, the bulk of the transactions that are taking place are aligning to Marvel as the main publisher, driven by the popularity of the X-Men and also Spider-Man, Wolverine, and as I mentioned, Incredible Hulk as well. The remaining 10% of transactional volume is made up of all publishers not named Marvel, Image, or DC. With that said, my hope is that this video has been informative. If it has, I definitely want to encourage you to give the video a thumbs up. If you want to leave a comment behind, you can definitely do that as well. If for some reason you haven't subscribed to the channel, I want to invite you to do that. And if you want to reach out to me, you can do it on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.
This thing on? Mic check. I just want to make sure y'all can hear me clearly. Yo, should you practice art? Or should art be your practice? I had a question, so I asked it. Not to anyone specifically, but to my inner God, you know? The one that's gonna be a master. The one that's more than a rapper. The one that's an educator. The one that seeks enlightenment. He travels with concepts. He's got the mindset expansive. He understands that it's time combined with travel and concepts makes his mind convex. Sort of like when you look at a brain scan. Straight off meditation, we was concaving until we had that eternal dialogue that created our dialect. Now we in distinct rooms of pure souls having them conversations. Synergy and combinations. You fly and we waiting. Indian style in the gold.